Chris for MyMMAnews.com, being joined by Quentin the Hero Henry, who is just a little bit 2 weeks out before he takes on the Crippler, Chris Leben, the absolute legend. But I got the man himself, the hero. Quentin Henry, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's my little boy's birthday. Tomcat turned 4 today. So we're doing a little birthday shenanigans here in a little bit.
Well, happy birthday to your son, man. I'm sure he must be looking forward to Daddy bringing home that big win, yeah?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
So now that we're, under 2 weeks out, any final preparations that you need to close down before the hero's ready to get back into the jump?
No, not really. I mean, we just kind of keep doing what we've been doing. I got to fly out or drive out early the week of the fight, like Monday. So once we go in there, we'll kind of start pulling back on the training a little bit. But until then, keeping the cardio up, keeping the training up, everything's going to stay the same, really.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask before we get into the nitty gritty of the fight, the Hero Fitness with the crooked N, what's with that? I'm just curious. You said you keep it that way. I just want to know why. What's the story?
Nobody's perfect, but then it was kind of off, and then it bothers people that it's off, and I like it. So it's just my thing. I don't know. It's got the other little nail up there, and it fell over one day, and I'm like, no, just leave it.
Yep. Little trademark. It was meant to happen, right?
Right.
So going into the bout, man, you bring a wealth of experience. Your MMA career in 2017, you had your boxing bout, which you won by stoppage, and now you have BKFC, right? Do you think you've found your new sport with the wealth of experience? You've gone through all the combat sports. Do you think you found your sport?
Yeah, definitely. I think, for my particular, I guess my skill set, the things that I feel like I'm very good at just fit right into Bare Knuckle. And my style is made for this. And it's fun, and I grew up fighting. That's what we did when we were kids. I grew up in Louisiana, and we went out with boys. We just beat each other up, and it's what you did for fun. So, I've always done this, and now I just get paid to do it.
So following with your experience, I wanted to ask, with Leben on his way out, he asked for you, right? And now Quentin Henry is on the rise. Do you think this is the perfect time for this matchup to happen? Because for the Quentin Henry explosion of 2021, I mean, nothing bigger can be on the card for you than being on the featured highlight of Paige VanZant's debut, Johnny Bedford defending his title, and right there you have you and the Crippler, Chris Leben. So it just makes me wonder, is this the perfect storm culminating?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. It's been culminating for a while now, but I've had a lot of opportunities in my career, and this is probably by far the biggest one. But it's the one I'm the most ready for I've ever been for any of the other ones I've had in my career. I've been training hard. I'm excited. I'm the guy to beat. And that's why I look at this. People are asking me, what's the division look like? Who would you want next? It doesn't matter, because I don't call people out. In my mind, that's my belt already. This is my division at 205. And that's not arrogance. It's just confidence. That's what I'm doing. And so, yeah, I don't, I got to fight everybody to get what I want. So, Chris Leben's there. I'm glad he's stepping up, because that's a big name, but he's just another person I got to take out to get to where I want to be.
So you being in BKFC now, undefeated, and, this fight taking place, and you saying you want that title, has that been on the table or talked about at all, negotiations for a title?
No, we haven't discussed any of it. And I haven't really pushed for it. I don't know when the time would be right for it. And that's kind of the deal. I don't want it to be, when I get it, I want it to be legitimate. I don't want it to seem like it was handed to me or I didn't deserve it type of deal. So, when it comes doesn't matter. I know eventually it'll be here. So no, we haven't particularly discussed about that.
So with, like I said, everything going behind Chris Leben, and, at the end of the day, he is a man just like you. But I wanted to ask two-part question. Him asking for you, what does it mean for you personally?
I mean, I like that. I love it, because, and he's even said in some of his interviews, it's not a great fight for him, but that's the type of fight that he would want to go out on. So I'm happy for that. I'm glad to be a part of it. He wants to go out on an epic fight, win or lose. He's not, there just to, he didn't want a guaranteed win. He wanted a battle. And, so that gets me really excited.
So when it gets down to the biz on fight night, how do you think this bout's going to play out? Because again, the experience between both of you is there. So when it comes together and it's time to knuckle up, how do you see this bout going down? Do you think it's going to be scrap from the gate, or are you going to play it a little more intelligent, let's say, using your jab, which you've known, gotten it out there, popped it, and it's been a tool that you've been able to use and capitalize on, your jab, right? Your size, your length. Is it something you want to plan on just committing and banging, see how things go, or, fight with your range?
I can win this fight from anywhere. And, so I plan to win the fight by taking as little damage as possible and inflicting the most that I can. So, whether that be we get tied up inside, that's me staying to the outside, whatever we're going to do. But, I plan to come out here and look like a different animal in this fight. And I want it to look like when I'm done that I deserve that belt and there's no one that says I don't. And this is an opportunity for me to do that. So whether it goes 6 rounds or whether it goes 30 seconds, I'm going to be in there, at the top of my game 100% the whole time.
So with this push with Quentin Henry, man, and like, obviously you have the skills to back it up. BKFC is believing in you and putting you in the spots, and you've been rising since you've been the inception of BKFC. So it makes me wonder, what's your relationship with David Feldman and all the guys backstage? Because they truly seem to believe in the hero, Quentin Henry.
I have a decent relationship with them, I guess. I don't go have cocktails with them or text message them or anything. My management usually talks to them more than I do. But yeah, they seem to be bought into the hero brand and what I can do. So, and I like that, because I've always, throughout my whole career, I've tried to just be genuine, and that never paid off for me a lot of times, because, the good guy doesn't always win. And that was always, that's just was the story of my life over and over again and over and over. But now, I feel like that's finally being appreciated, at least from what I can tell, but I don't get involved in all that. I got a lot going on with, honestly, fighting is probably 30% of what I do in my life. The other 70% with kids and my businesses and training in my gym and coaching my students and all that. I got a lot going on, and so does David Feldman. So, we don't really just get to hang out and all, but we're good. I think the last event I came in and had my mask on, for the weigh-ins. I came behind him and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he didn't recognize me or something. He's like, "Who's?" I was like, "Don't worry, you'll remember me next time you see me." And just walked off. He's like, "No, I knew who you were." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Well. But yeah, I think I know that any negotiations we've had between me or him and my management company, we seem to be working back and forth, whether just not necessarily if it's money or if it's things that I need as far as promotion, things like that, they're taking pretty good care of me. So, I'm scratching their back, they're scratching mine.
And with BKFC just absolutely blowing up, and again, going back to your wealth of experience in combat sports and now finding your realm in BKFC, again, it just seems to be matching up at the perfect time of your career, just as a fighter, making it in the big show and on mainstream combat sports.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like physically I'm in my prime, mentally I'm in my prime. And it's just not a good time to be in my division. And, this is my time, and it's actually here, and I've accepted it.
And how does that feel now that you fully understand and you personally feel that now is your time? What kind of feeling is that? Because again, I've heard you talk in other interviews and say you've grown up as kind of feeling like the kid. and now it really seems like you've settled into, you feel like it's your time. How does that feel finally settling in?
Yeah, it's and that's what I've been telling people kind of this whole time. They're asking me about it. Well, it's it's surreal. But when at the end of the day, Chris Leben called me out because he knows I'm the best, and that's why he wants to fight me, and that's why anybody should want to fight me. And uh, him doing that just legitimizes me. And, at first it's kind of like, is this real? Is this what's going on? But then I keep training, I keep moving, I keep doing this. And then even, when I'm in the training, I'm talking to my coach, I'm just saying, I don't feel like he can beat me. I don't think he can beat me anywhere. It just it seems like this is too easy. And he's like, well, he can't, and then, you keep working, you keep getting that confidence, and then you're working harder, you're pushing harder, you're running faster. You're coming up with new super moves and shit when you're in there hitting mitts. And, it's just time, all the gears are clicking.
So when it comes time to fight night, when it boils down, what's your prediction?
It won't go past the first round.
First round? Will it go past the first minute in your eyes?
Oh, I mean, that's debatable. Chris Leben's a durable guy. That's not something you're going to push for, to knock out within 10 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you he's not coming to go fight for 6 rounds. He's coming to fight for one, and I'm coming to fight for one. So I'm going to give him, 205 pounds of hard dick in that first round, and we're going to see what's happening.
So I want to start closing it down, man. That's absolutely hilarious, and I love it, man. The character is something interesting. It's something fun to get to know over as you become more of a figure in BKFC. So that line just absolutely just had me in stitches there. So I want to ask you real quick about when you were talking in previous interviews and you said it brought out the warrior spirit, like how people might take offense to being called out. You didn't. I completely understand where you're coming from in saying you thought it was nothing but respect. Can you please try and explain to people that might not fully get it how you took it as respect instead of a call out?
Well, like you've seen like the movie 300 where, the Spartan is sitting next to the Acadian, I think is who he is. And then he's like laughing because they're about to die or whatever. And he's like, what's wrong with you? You're mad, but he tells them, he's like, the greatest thing is a glorious death. The most glorious death is to die in battle, and that's kind of what you want. You want something that makes you scared. If you're not scared to go in there or scared to do it, then it doesn't give you that rush. And going out there to fight some bum doesn't scare you, but fighting the baddest dude alive does.
So if I can wind it down, I've gotten your prediction, but again, you're fighting on such a stacked card. What do you think about Paige's debut? What do you think, who's going to win that between her and Britain Hart, if I can get your prediction on that fight?
I've seen Britain fight a couple times. She's a really good technical boxer. It's just hard to say what Paige is going to do. I know that she comes from a pretty good training camp, and people try to discount her because she is pretty, and they make it out like she's not tough, but she is a tough chick. So, I'm really super interested to see this because I know what it's like to have that chip on your shoulder of people just calling you the pretty boy and don't think you can fight. So, and that's lit a fire under me before. And I think she's kind of got that same thing. So, and dude, girls are mean. So that's just all there is to it. Girls are meaner than guys. So, I know for a fact they're going to go out there and scrap. So that's going to be an entertaining fight, for sure. But a lot of people wonder, like, why are they making that, main event? Besides the fact, Paige is a very followed person on Instagram and all that. But girls are mean. And that's one of the reasons. And people that don't watch a lot of girl fights don't get that. But especially in these bare knuckle fights, man, these girls go out here and they scrap. It's like they really hate each other.
Yeah, that's it's interesting you say that because ever since women's MMA became such more polarizing and popular, it seems to be the trend that once these girls get in the cage, they're not in there to pity pat. They sometimes scrap. I'd probably say 75% harder than the guys half the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They fight with it's like they fight with a lot more emotion and passion, so yeah, some of the baddest fights I've ever seen have been girl fights. And like, even if you go to jiu-jitsu tournaments, like local jiu-jitsu tournaments, doesn't matter. Go watch the girls division because they are trying to murder each other. It's just the different types of intensity when they go, man. It's wild.
So if I can finally get your opinion on what do you think about Dat Nguyen and Johnny Bedford for the title?
I got to go with Johnny. That's my boy. You know, I love Johnny to death. That's a mean little dude. And I haven't seen anybody that's had an answer to him. But at the same time, Dat Nguyen is very, very good boxer. I'm a huge fan of both of them, you know. But I personally know Johnny. I know he's a great dude. He's super genuine, and that's one of the things I take into account with a lot of fighters. And you know, like when you see Johnny do interviews or whatever, like he's just like that all the time. But he's a mean little bastard. He is. And if you go spar with him or grapple with him or whatever, he's just mean the whole time. It's just what he is. So, you know, when I found out he was doing the bare knuckle, I'm like, the very first time I was like, oh, he's going to freaking kill people on that. You know, I'm like, that little bastard is mean. And which, I mean, even me, as big as I am, you go in there sparring and you get done, you're like, man, it's a mean little bastard. You know, like he's that kind of guy. So, but yeah, I don't see anybody beating Johnny Bedford, to be honest with you, but I think that's going to be a hell of a fight.
And obviously, right before that will be my man, Quentin Henry. And you're taking yourself, obviously, you're going to predict a first-round knockout over Chris Leben. And that is going to do it for us. Quentin, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you were less than 2 weeks out before the fight. You got stuff on your plate. So nothing but the best of luck, my friend. I can't wait to see this fight. Best of luck. That's all I have to say.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Can I shout out the sponsors real quick?
Yes, please do
All
so.
Right, there we go. We got Traxler Chiropractic, First Choice Bail Bonds, AirMed Hemp Extracts, Redhead Roofing, Parker Collision, Armed Forces Roofing, PRP Speed Shot, Belit Organics, Iron Jaw Custom Mouth Guard. I just sent that off. I hadn't got it back yet, but they're like, you know, the custom ones go in. And then Heroes Old Fashioned. Those are my future. Well, it's my drink that we came out with. It's an old pre-made old fashioned. It's got a little sticker in a bottle. Dang, I need a bottle. I'm out of sample bottles. I'll have some at the fights though. But old fashioned in a bottle, we'll have it available. It's on my Instagram. You can see some pictures and stuff.
And speaking of, why don't you let the fans know, if they don't already know, how they can follow you on social media?
Instagram, it's Hero Henry, and then on Facebook, it's Quentin the Hero Henry.
There he goes, Quentin the Hero Henry, who has taken on Chris Leben in less than 2 weeks, and it's going down on Super Bowl weekend. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, KnuckleMania. The debut of Paige VanZant taking on Britain Hart. Johnny Bedford defending his belt against Dat Nguyen. And you have Quentin Henry against the Crippler Chris Leben in Leben's retirement bout. For Quentin the Hero Henry, I am Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.